All right, everybody. Our next guest is a comedy legend, one of the greatest drunken comedy minds the world has ever seen. And his latest book, No Encore for the Donkey, is simply brilliant. Here he is, folks, the one and only Doug Stanhope. Doug, how's it going, man? How you been?
Put up, shut up. Very aggressive.
Yes, put up, shut up, and stand up. We were originally a online game show, and then with the pandemic, it made me kind of go back to my roots doing a show like this, like a talk show type of deal, right out of Governor's Comedy Club. So
I don't win shit.
Well, if we were to have you on, you would probably be a judge. So yeah, how it works is we have seasoned comedians would judge kind of newer comics, like less than 5 years in, and they would put them through a bunch of rounds and stuff like that. Jackie the Joke Man, what do you say?
Well, I'm not giving you any credit for what he said rolling off your back, because I didn't understand a fucking word he said. So,
you'd probably be an awesome judge.
I would have a hard time being mean for about 2 drinks.
Yeah, then the honesty would just come up. But sometimes I think with creative people, especially comedians, sometimes honesty would help them more so, right, than just telling them that they were good.
As long as they realize it's still just one person's opinion,
right?
I mean, but the things like Kill Tony and that. The good thing is, it's the only way you're really gonna enjoy watching fucking new comics, because most of them suck. That's how it goes. That's how it works. So unless there's someone to make it entertaining to watch them, like, yeah, if they do great, that's a good thing. You had fun. If they suck, you know that they're gonna take a beating, and that's also fun.
How do you like the roast battles?
They're weird. I like them a lot more than I thought it would. They're fun. Once in a while there's something funny in there which doesn't hurt. No, it's actually the percentage is pretty crazy good. It really is. I'm pretty surprised by the whole fucking show, to tell you the truth.
Excellent. I'm going to take that one. Yes. Yeah. Jackie said,
I didn't say it was good. No, it really is. It's fun. It's
cruel to be kind.
Yeah, and that's how you could also test the mettle of a comedian, because I did stand up a little bit in the late 90s, early 2000s, but I after I bombed numerous times, it would wear on me and mentally mess me up the next time around, and I would lose confidence each and every set. So I didn't have what it takes. I think a real comedian's mind could withstand that.
Well, the problem is too many people have a lot of metal that they don't deserve. There's nothing that's scarier than misplaced self-confidence.
10 skydivers died in a plane crash. How the hell does this happen? What?
That's true.
People think they're doing just fine, and it's not just comedy. It's all over the fucking world and every vocation.
Right. Yeah, I remember, like, even in your book, one of the things you did say is that some comedians, that they've been doing this for 10 years on the open mic level, and they just haven't realized that maybe it's time to find something, another hobby.
Yeah, they're there every week like a fucking AA meeting. Yeah, this is my what do they say? My therapy.
Right. Yeah.
Now you're creating a crowd that also needs therapy.
So I was at the store the other day, and I saw this bag of tater tots, and I was like, what next? Tater adults?
It's true, and that's why, like, with the show and with seasoned comedians, I think it is important for them to hear from the comedians that have been doing this thing, road comics, headliners, even features, and just people that have been in the game for a long time, to kind of get critiques from those people, because they live it and breathe it,
Yeah, if I knew how much I sucked when I started, if I was aware of it, I would have bowed out gracefully.
Give me the number for Domino's, man. I'm gonna order that pizza. I said, fuck you. I said, fine, I give him the number for an escort service. Hi, I'd like to order an extra large Hawaiian, please.
But that's why I like having this YouTube videos of me like 3 months into comedy, and they're fucking awful, and I want to have them taken down because people have to know. Yeah, that's how it starts for a lot of us.
I was into kitty porn for a while. Pissed off the cats a lot.
Chelsea joke.
Oh, sure, you didn't boo for Al's stupid fucking introduction, but you'll boo on a kitty porn joke. Thank you very much.
Fucking painful.
And would you
This
say
weird accent? I talked out of the side of my mouth. I have no idea what I was doing, what I was trying to affect.
But were you Doug Stanhope right out of the gates, or did you have to find that voice, or were you always kind of the same guy?
No, I was 23. I didn't have any point of view or knowledge or wisdom or grit.
True story. We were there last summer. They had the big state fair going on. They put an ad in the newspaper. They set up a trailer at the state fair to check for prostate cancer. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I want carnival workers checking my prostate.
I mean, I said a lot of dirty words, but they're all just fuck jokes.
But then I guess through life, through living, you started to craft this kind of
Yeah, I did Doug Benson's podcast once, and he was one of the first guys I worked with on a paid gig in Vegas. And he said, I was just the MC at the Riviera, and he said they used to call me Doug Stand-Up because it was just all benign, pointless bits about nothing.
Did she do that thing at the end where she goes, oh, baby, come on, you're the best, give it to me.
And now here you are. You've been in the game, what, about 30 years or so?
30 years, yeah.
And now you're hailed a true comedian's comedian, because like they would say guys like Dave Attell, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, that those guys are comedians, but they all say that you're their guy. That's kind of like
everyone is. Every time someone says, "Yeah, you're like a comedian's comedian," I just picture other comedians wincing, going, "Not my comedian."
But you do inspire and influence. And to me, like, I always look at comedy as part of a family tree and different branches of that tree. And you derive, to me, from like Lenny Bruce. So Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Bill Hicks, Doug Stanhope. That's like the chain. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
I'm not in a position to judge.
That's the thing, I have a reputation for being sort of controversial and irreverent, and also the semantic bear trap of bad taste.
I don't know what I am, but right now I guess we're all unemployed, so what's it matter?
You worked hard to get where you are. No, I didn't. I drank, smoked, and did drugs to get where I'm at. I'm not glorifying shit. I ain't trying to build it up, but it really is responsible for where I am. I haven't ever tried very hard. I'm here because drugs expanded my imagination and it made me think outside of your reality, and cigarettes gave me the patience to sit and write those thoughts down in a comedy-friendly format that you could understand, and the alcohol gives me the courage to stand up here in front of you judgmental pricks and do it with $250,000 worth of cameras in your face.
But you have a that vibe with the social commentary, but you come at it at a very raw and honest.
You ever tried to listen to Lenny Bruce?
Oh yeah.
I don't understand almost anything he's talking about. There's a couple bits I like.
He mixes the Yiddish, and
the jive,
right?
Whatever. The slang. I'm like, what the fuck is he even saying?
They're talking while I'm working, and they sound like tape backwards. This is little Teddy Milwaukee Phil. This is Mr. Schwartz and blah, 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 blah.
I will say, yeah, Lenny didn't stand the test of time like some of his comedy, but his what he stood for does, I think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The whole bit of the story about the cop having to read transcripts of his act in court and him just falling apart, going, "This guy's a cop. He's not funny. He's ruining my fucking act." Like, yeah, it has no artistic merit when he does it. That's
Can you imagine the cops reading your act?
Yeah, people always say that suicide is for cowards who don't want to deal with their problems, so they want an easy fix and an easy solution. Fuck you, life is like animal porn. It's not for everybody, it isn't. It's sad when kids kill themselves because kids really didn't give life a chance, but life is like a movie, and if you've sat through more than half of it and it sucked every single second so far, chances are it's not gonna get great right at the very end and make it all worthwhile. No one should blame you for walking out early.
I do understand where people would, watch my show and go, I don't understand why anyone would think that's funny.
Honestly, I didn't expect a lot out of this career. I never expected a Emmy award for a TV show I ruined or a Grammy for any dog shit album I put out. The fact that I can sell out my own funhouse for free is overwhelming to me. And that you fake laugh. I like that. That's all I could ever expect.
But I think your take on things, they're honest and they're brutal, but and they're also kind of like I know this is stuff you've probably heard before, but things we think but no one would ever say, like, especially in this day and age, like you have that bit about the cop killer, and then you're like, why would they just randomly kill those cops?
Oh yeah.
You could have killed the cop that killed the unarmed black guy. They said his name on the news and you know where he works. How little legwork are you willing to put into your murders where you go kill 3 random cops and fucking riots, and then this is blue lives versus black lives, where if you killed the actual cop responsible, the entire country would just go, well, that worked itself out.
First of all, I think that's a trap when people say, oh, he says what everyone's thinking. Is too afraid to say, well, if everyone's already thinking it, you don't need me. Try to think. That's like very Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But also you fall into that trap of just because you think it, other people must think it too. Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe don't think like that at all. And now you look like the really fucking creepy guy.
And we're going to be the first generation of elderly people complaining, but in the opposite fashion, where we're going, look at these kids today, these half faggots. We used to do crank off of titty dancers and shit. It was no one got hurt. We had a lot of fun. We got some good stories and herpes out of the deal. It was a fucking good time.
I've caught myself on a few bits where I think, wow, that sounds too much like stand-up comedy. Is that too comedy-ish? I try to shy away from anything that sounds too stand-up-y.
And is there any comedians, past or present, or influences that you look to that you say this guy is the guy?
I at the beginning of the quarantine, I forced myself to watch some stand-up. But mostly people I knew. Actually, there's a few that I'd never heard of, and now I'm gonna fucking forget all their names. Sam Morrill was really good.
I miss my ex-girlfriend, She never made me wear a condom when we had sex. That's pretty cool, right? I know, because she was on the pill. Ambien? That was good. That was really good. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you need a date rape joke to take the show to another level. That's a comedy secret, guys.
Yeah, I hadn't heard him before. Rogan, of course, his new one I thought was brilliant. His latest.
Oh yeah, it's great on Netflix.
Yeah, and then there's some that I got, 4 minutes in and went, I just can't. I can't do this.
It is hard sometimes, to check it. But like as far as influences go, were you inspired by the Carlins of the world, or?
No, actually, I didn't really like Carlin until later because when he got angry.
Yeah, he's
I
old.
didn't like the clever Carlin.
Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all.
But when I was coming up, it was Dice. Dice was the guy that made me get into comedy. Because they said like I knew his album by heart, and I would quote it around the telemarketing office where I worked, and the owner of the telemarketing office had a cover band, and he said, "Hey, if you want to open for my band with that," and I go, "That's not my material, that's Andrew Dice Clay," and he goes, "I don't care."
Because I'll tell you, today they don't suck dick the way they used to. They dabble in it. They lay there, they flick it, they smack it. Oh, look at the way it jumps. It can sing and dance too. Now suck my cock, honey.
We're doing fraud telemarketing. Why would I care if I fucking stole an act? But just knowing that if I had my own material, that I could actually get on stage and, you know, be offered a gig like that, made me start.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's crazy because nowadays there can never be a Dice in this culture. Do you think, like, is this going to be in the long run better for stand-up to try to kind of work around this culture, or is it worse for stand-up because now, you know, we can never, you know, like the Dice Clays of the world will never fly now if he just started now?
Yeah, you couldn't have you couldn't build one from scratch, but you still get the original.
Right.
People find a way around it, and you don't need mass appeal. You need to appeal to enough people to make you a living, which I'm a good example of. Like,
right, you kind of
I'm not widely known, but the fan base that I have are tenacious, and they show up. So you don't need to be on fucking Saturday Night Live.
Right.
I came out of the closet on my last special, if you saw it, and you know what? I was not embraced by the gay community.
Your new book, man, No Encore for the Donkey. I'm about 6 chapters in. It's really good, and I've been reading ahead and some of the some of the reviews and things like that. And one thing I like about your books, with Digging Up Mother and this one as well, is they are funny, but you do go deep. You do go pretty personal. Like Digging Up Mother was, your mom was the focus, and then with this one, it's your wife Bingo. It's all kind of around this 2016 year, which began like a good year, but then it all fell apart. tell me a little bit about what inspired you to want to document this.
Well, I mean, it was forced to go deep because a lot of, if just the stories on face value, if you listen to the podcast, you know a lot of the stories, so it had to go another layer of skin down to bone. Right. But just the idea that it all happened in 1 year. I was just doing an accounting. Do you realize what happened just in that fucking year alone? And then I thought, all right, well, now I have a beginning and an end, so I just have to write it.
The relationship with you and Bingo, your two are really like in unison. You do belong together. You're kindred spirits in a lot of ways. Explain, your relationship with Bingo.
Oh, wow, that's difficult. I don't quite get it. I think it's actually almost a brand now. But yeah, and I repeat it a lot in the book. There's a codependency that works.
Go away, fucking. What? Where's her wake-up call? I don't know. What time is it? Oh, jeez. Fucking.
Right.
It's like, people who say, you're self-medicating. Well, if it's working, then shut the fuck up. Yeah, we're codependent in a brilliant way.
Right. And you get each other. And
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's probably the most important thing, is to really truly get each other.
And we also live our own lives. You know, she stays at the quiet house down the street where I
Right.
don't mind her hoarding and having, you know, turning bedrooms into more closet space for all of her goofy outfits. All right, you get your shit going on there. I got my shit going on here. We get along perfectly.
Right on. Well,
So, yeah,
what's
it's been 15 years.
15 years, man. God bless you, my friend. And what's the secret to finding a soulmate? Is there one?
No.
You just get lucky?
Yeah, you get lucky.
There is no street in this damn town that will lead me to you in a half moon after I shadowed my entire body in blue.
I mean, on some level, it's a responsibility, but like we don't have that kind of relationship where, okay, well, I went to go see John Mayer with you, so you have to go to the thing with me, and yeah, it's separating your fucking lives. And never understood where people have to. Well, it's my parents. Well, I don't go to fucking weddings, so you go to that. I don't go to funerals. You do that thing.
Sometimes it's better to just do it on your own anyway.
Exactly. Are you inside Governors? I know that's the Wayne's World backdrop, but you said
no. We have a studio inside of Governors, but now with the pandemic, we can't get in there, and so I'm actually in my house right now.
I remember playing Governors right after the TWA Flight 800.
Oh,
and it's still to this day one of my favorite bits I've ever written. So I wrote it on a dare. There was a waitress at the Melrose Improv that came out. I was sitting at the bar watching the news, and she came out of the showroom just bitching about how fucking boring all these comics are, and they all say the same shit. And I go, and I got into some discussion with her, and I said, yeah, what? She goes, make that funny. TWA is on the news, and it just crashed. She said, make that funny. So on the dare, and I wrote, it turned into one of my favorite pieces I ever wrote. But I went to Governors shortly after that, and that's where it happened.
Yeah,
I'm going to open with the bit. It's the first show of the week, and I opened with it, and they fucking hated me, and there was nothing I could do to pull out of the hole. I just had to go through the rest of my material to dead fucking angry silence.
Wow. Yeah, that's gotta be tough to lose them right out of the gates.
Yeah, East Moriches, I believe, was the town where that.
Yeah, that's right. Where I'm out here in Manorville, right outside of Center Moriches. So East Moriches is like not too far from where I am right now.
Yeah, that was. But everyone acted like, well, just because a plane crashed there doesn't mean you know the people. They weren't your neighbors or anything.
Right. Yeah. That's that. It's crazy sometimes when a group of people going to a comedy show, you could lose them because you would think that they would be with you and want to laugh and find and understand, where the funny is.
Well, that's also one of the benefits of having your own audience, which at that point I didn't have.
Right.
Most people were there to see comedy, not Doug Stanhope.
Should Halloween be canceled?
In general, yes. You don't need a pandemic to cancel that stupid fucking holiday. If the listener, if you don't know, Halloween is by far the worst day of the year to try to do stand-up. Nobody wants anything because it's Halloween is a all about you day. I'm gonna fucking dress up like a whore and a pirate and whatever, and I want everyone to look at me. And you don't want to pay attention to someone else. You want people paying attention to you. And I remember doing Halloween shows back when I had to. I had someone who'd come in dressed up as fucking Austin Powers or something, gorilla suit, right front row center. And I would always demand no one on the bill address the fucking guy He's going to the comedy show. Yeah, I'm in a fucking gorilla suit. They're going to have so much fun with me. Don't even mention them. Don't mention the gorilla. Just let him sit there and fucking sweat in that suit. He can't even fucking drink through it. He's spilling shit down his fucking mask. Yeah, and for nothing. You just lost like 40 pounds of sweat and no one ever fucking said a word to you.
Oh, that's awesome. When was the last time you dressed up for Halloween, and what were you?
Oh, I'd rather not say. It's probably almost probably 27 years ago in Tri-Cities in Washington. And I went up on stage as Aunt Jemima. So, yeah, I won't be holding a position on a Supreme Court anytime soon.
What's the scariest movie ever?
Wow. I don't remember the last time I was scared at a movie. But, fuck, I can't remember. When I was a kid, I know I read the Amityville Horror. Movie wasn't nearly as good, but I remember I read that book when I was probably 12 or 11 or something. I slept in my brother's room for a week.
It's right here on Long Island too, Amityville. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Is there Halloween candy? It's not like Easter candy.
Well,
Halloween candy is just regular candy, but fucking snack size.
Right. Like those candy corns and stuff like that. Do you have any opinion on candy?
I like candy corn occasionally. I'm a gummy guy. That's what started me doing edibles. I'm like, fuck. I accidentally took. I think I ate 3 because I was just cleaning. I was actually doing sober October, trying to, a couple of years ago. And so I was just fucking out of my tit. It's like not drinking and fucking not smoking. You might as well be doing coke because you ain't sleeping. And so I was cleaning up in the fun house, and someone left a bag of peach gummy rings that were weed. I didn't know it, so I just fucking started eating them while I'm cleaning the place out. And she goes, "You know those are weed, right?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" But yeah, I had a good time, so I've been dabbling in those quite a bit.
Yeah. So let's go. I've got a few more here. Are space aliens living among us?
No.
All right.
I'd love to believe. I really. And if you ask the well younger me, I'd probably say yes, just because I hope they do. And I still hope they do, but no.
And finally, are ghosts real? And have you ever seen any?
No, I've never seen a ghost. But yeah, when you asked about the movie, I've watched some movies where I wasn't scared, but once I shut it off and I realized I'm alone in a quiet house, yeah, get some pea shivers. But oh yeah, let me plug the also on Amazon Prime. The special is out. The latest is called the Dying of a Last Breed.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, get that on Amazon Prime.
Dying of the Last Breed on Amazon Prime with Doug Stanhope. Also, obviously the book is huge. Everyone's got to read that. No encore.
Yeah, it's on Audible
for the donkey. Yeah, it's on Audible.
Yeah. It's exclusive on Audible, and they have the first 6 months. So somewhere around February, we'll have hard copies out if you are so inclined.
Yes, indeed. Doug Stanhope, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. And good luck with everything. And we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
We'll see you out there someday.
Yes, indeed. All right. All right. Take care, man.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You have to subscribe to Don Sill's show, Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on GOVS Radio. It's the show with his buddy Benny. They're good buddies. They're on TV. I don't know what I'm saying.